Even
Sarah.
though you are the only user of outbound transportation at your company, your procurement team hounds you every week for some crazy thing they call Maverick spend. So I'd like to have you explain, first of all, what is Maverick spend and how do you get them off your back from hounding you constantly?
So this is actually not for my company, but as part of a solution that our business, Siemens Logistics, delivers. Maverick spend is when our procurement team, your procurement team, has negotiated a contract with a vendor or a series of vendors to purchase goods or services. And someone decides, yeah, I don't want it from them. I want to buy it from the guy down the street. Or I can have the delivery driver of a different company pick it up later in the evening and still get it there. That does two things. That A, messes up the books because we're only expecting you to buy from approved vendors. But secondarily, it also reduces the amount of spend that a company has with those vendors that have been negotiated. And why is the spend important? Because the spend is what drives the discount that we receive from whoever the service or parts provider is. So if we are not fulfilling the minimum purchase requirements over a period of time, we're going to get hit with a penalty and a chargeback for the discount that we did not earn. Never a good thing at the end of the day if we have to pay a supplier back for something that we did. So it's, again, this is an important piece so that when you're monitoring your procurement spend, when you're monitoring your transportation, whether it's inbound or outbound, that you control, as opposed to transportation that's being provided by a supplier or picked up by a customer, you're able to look and see that the only options available to the team are those that we've negotiated. And if for some crazy reason they're able to get around that, it gets flagged and stopped along the way. So we're not trying to hold people up. We're trying to help them make the business decisions that have already been implemented because there are larger cost considerations out there that an individual on the outbound transportation line may not know about.
So, Jeffrey, you talked about Maverick spend, which is a big challenge at many manufacturing companies because you get buyers who decide to go rogue and have their own supplier they want to use, or their brother or their sister, or something always seems to pop up. What can people do to try to encourage the team to buy off the contract and actually do what has been set in place by the supply chain team?
So what you can do is two things. One, we need to ensure that we have put, and I hate to say IT, but a system technically is IT, that we put the system infrastructure in place that doesn't allow people to buy off of the contracts. That this is the list, pick from the list, you can't buy it from anywhere else. Now, if they're buying off of using a corporate card or a P card, then you can work with the card issuer to restrict where those purchases can be made. So I know recently I made a rather large purchase at a retail establishment, and I did not realize that my firm has a limit for retail on how much I could spend. So legitimate charge, finally authorized, but the card issuer stopped it because my business gave them the parameters. So it's explaining to people why we do things the way we do it. Oh, and if you've got a better supplier, your brother, your sister, your third cousin on your mother's granddaughter side, bring them to us, because if they are a valid supplier, we would like to plug them into our purchasing portfolio. And I think a lot of times, too, something Cassandra said, we tell people, nope, can't do it. We have rules, here's the list, but we're also open to other ideas.
Yeah, change management in procurement and in manufacturing is tough. So I always like to hear success stories and how people navigate that internally.